you're wondering what I'm doing before I food prep, I'm sunning my mushrooms and tomatoes because apparently it makes them even better for you. So I'm just gonna leave them out here in the sunshine and hope for the best. Hope that no birds or critters steal them. I live in a neighborhood, so hopefully it'll be fine. All right, so I'm starting another day out with another list. It's Sunday. We didn't go to church today because several of the kids have runny noses. And although I do not think we're contagious, we were sick the other week, and then my mom just had surgery, so I'm just gonna stay here with her. Anyway, but I am gonna do a to-do list and some food prep. Not snack time. So I'll bring you along for that. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is look at the menu that I made and figure out how I can work it all out, what I need to cook first, etc., etc. I already have my mushrooms sunning, so I will wait a little while and let them get some sun and start on other things. So for the kids, they're gonna have tacos on Tuesday, beef stroganoff on Wednesday, and taco mac on Friday. So that's 3 ground beef recipes. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook. Eddie, sit down on the counter. The ground beef for them, just regular. And then I'm gonna get the sourdough, pancakes, waffles, and the muffins all soaking. I start with 5 pounds of ground beef and then pull out about 8 pounds of potatoes, sweet potatoes, and Idaho potatoes to bake. I just wash them and poke holes in them, and I'm gonna bake them for about 90 minutes at 320 degrees. The babies are helping me open up oolong tea bags. I'm gonna make about 2 gallons of tea for the week, and I put 8 tea bags in each gallon. And this is something that's really easy for the kids to help you with, is opening the tea bags. I pull off the paper and I pull out the strings, and then I just throw it in a pot to bring it to a boil, and then mix it into the gallon jug with a half a teaspoon of stevia. That for the week. Good job, throw it away. All right, let's count them. Ready? 1, 2, let mommy move them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good job. Yay. This is the tea I bought. I get it on it.
Some tea.
Okay, you can have some when it's done. Can I have that, Julie?
I want some tea.
Sit down.
I want some tea.
Sit down.
I have a I want to cut it.
All right.
Mom, I want to cut
See if you guys can open these.
Mom, I need a knife to open.
Next time, let your sister go first. She's smaller. No, Eddie, you do not need a knife.
I'm getting it out.
Okay, well, mommy's coming to help you, but you don't need that knife. Let's put it back. Put in a pan to steam to make sort of like a cauliflower rice to have prepped up for the week to eat with all the veggies in the veggie full menu that we will be eating. Marvin pulled all the green off of that one all by himself. So strong, and they're celebrating now. This is my favorite stevia to use in my oolong tea. It's Trim Healthy Mama brand stevia. It's not quite as bitter as some that I've tried. And I found that if I dump the oolong tea off the tea bags pretty quick instead of letting it sit for too long, it's not bitter. But other people might know better tricks about that than me. I know I just love it. Then I just use my Berkey to fill those up. I try to. And that's it. Oolong tea is ready. Just going back and stirring that ground beef. If you cook it on low, then you don't have to watch it as closely. And now I have to take a quick break to make the children some snacks. I just do a spoonful of peanut butter with an apple and an orange. And that is what they have that day. I'm just draining that ground beef now, and I am going to just barely rinse out the pot because I'm about to use it again to steam the cauliflower. And if you take really, really hot water, you can wash a lot of the fat off of that ground beef, and that way it is a lot leaner. That's what you see me doing here, making sure that I get all the fat out. Now I'm just getting ready to steam the cauliflower. This is my favorite steamer. It's pretty cheap. I just got it at Walmart. I love, love, love steaming vegetables in it. I don't always use this giant pan to steam my vegetables, but today I have to because I have a lot of cauliflower to steam and get ready for the week. Just washing it off real quick. Try to balance it on here accordingly with one hand while I hold the camera so that I can try to not let the cauliflower fall in the water. There's just something about steamed vegetables and boiled vegetables. I like steamed better. I like boiled just fine, but if I had the choice, I would choose steamed always. So that's what I'm trying to do here before I just give up and dump it all in and hope for the best, and it all worked out. All right, so I brought my mushrooms in from outside. They probably only got like a little over an hour, but hey, that's better than nothing, I think. And my cauliflower is steaming, and my 6 out of 7 of my children have eaten lunch. So I call that a win at only 11:23. I got the kids 5 pounds of hamburger meat cooked up. All I have to do is put it in containers, but I'm gonna let it cool a little bit. And now I'm about to hack my ground beef, which just means I'm gonna mix mushrooms in with the beef and season it up, and hopefully you won't even breaks up really easy. And that's what I'm doing here, is using a whisk to just break this cauliflower all up to prep it to be more like rice. The potatoes are done now, and I am just going to get ready to drain the next 5 pounds of ground beef that I've done. I go ahead and cook up the ground beef before I add the mushrooms and strain the fat. Once I get that drained, I add the meat back to the pot after I rinse it in really, really hot water, and then I'm gonna add the mushrooms. my mushrooms to my blender, and I'm going to pulse them to try to get them into tiny pieces. I do not have a food processor, or I would use that. I recommend a food processor over a blender because it is a little tricky and easy to turn your mushrooms into mush. Luckily I didn't have that happen this time, but I did have to run the mushrooms through about 4 different sets because you can only put a few in there each time and still be in control of the size of what comes out of there. Once I get all of my mushrooms in that pan, I just put the lid on and let it cook for a while, stirring it occasionally until the mushrooms are soft. And it's true, you can hardly even taste that they're there. My children have ate it and they didn't even know it was there. I had it on a salad and it just tasted like taco meat. The seasonings that I'm going to put on there is for every couple pounds of meat and mushrooms, I do like a taco type seasoning with salt, cumin, chili powder. And yeah, we love it. It's a Trim Healthy Mama recipe called Hack Your Ground Beef. You could probably Google it to get the recipe. I'll try to find a recipe and link it down below. But yeah, that's basically what it is. There were a few flies flying around, so I wanted to get the stuff in their containers before they got any flies landing on them. So I was just putting it in containers to stick it in the refrigerator. Sweet potatoes, white potatoes, cauliflower, and ground beef is what I'm putting in these containers. Although my husband and I and the children are eating separate things this week, I'm still doing a little over 1.5 pounds per meal for the kids. There are 7 of them that will be eating, and my mom will eat some of the meal, so that's 8 people. So 1.5 pounds is probably not even a huge portion, but it will be perfect. So it's plenty. So that's what these containers here are for the children's meals this week. I hardly ever eat separate meals from the kids. It's just this week my husband and I are doing a pre-made menu on the Trim Healthy Mama membership page called the Veggie Full menu, and I'm pretty excited to try it. I am completely following it breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the whole week for me and Derek, and so the kids got to pick their own menu this week. So that's what you see. What I'm doing now is making like a kind of like a veggie stir-fry. It's going to have more mushrooms, which I forgot to sun, some tomatoes, and spinach. And I'm just going to go ahead and have that ready to put in eggs and on my sweet potatoes and in my stir-fries. And I don't know why I didn't sun those mushrooms. I guess in my head, I thought that I had gotten too many, but I was reading the directions about the meat, and that's the pounds that I read instead of reading all of the directions first like I probably should have. So that is why these poor mushrooms didn't get the extra boost of vitamin D from the sunshine like the ones in the ground beef. But that's okay. I'm sure they're still going to be extra yummy and good for me. Now you're going to see me toasting up some walnuts. I just added some Pure on top of them, which is an erythritol stevia blend, and it was so yummy. Alright, so another thing that I'm going to make is pancakes and syrup to prep for the week. So the children are actually going to have pancakes tonight. I was going to put this off until it was time to make pancakes and then I would just double the batch, but I decided to make pancakes for the kids for supper tonight. So I decided I'm just going to go ahead and do it and then throw it on the griddle at the same time while I have it dirty and ready. So what I'm going to make right now is syrup. This syrup is my favorite. It's not in the Trim Healthy Mama books. It's at tjstaste.com. It's called sugar-free maple syrup. It's amazing, but make it exactly how she says because I tried to take shortcuts the last time I made it and it did not turn out as good. Go into her website and get all the traffic for her recipe. But I will link her recipe down below so that directions for you guys to find. And if you are keto or sugar-free, do it just like she said. Okay. And you miss the first thing that I need to do is get water. I'm gonna triple this recipe. It keeps good for like a month. Okay. So we're gonna get all this stuff on. Cup measuring cups. Does anybody else do you ever lose all, I had 2 or 3 sets of measuring cups and now I have all 1/3 cups. I'm like, what happened to the rest of them? I don't have a 3/4 cup. I don't have a 1/4 cup. So if I can figure out how to measure it with the 1/3 cup, then we're doing good. But okay, so I'm glad that thank you, TJ, for using 1/3 cup because that makes it easy for me. I don't have to do any math. Some salt. Then this maple flavor, it has a little bit of glycerin in it, but I use it and I'm gonna use it till it runs out. And I got it on Amazon and it's really yummy, but you do not have to use it. I'm sure, I think Trim Healthy Mama. Aww. Well, there it goes. That's it. So I only had 1 teaspoon of it, and I needed a tablespoon. So this one might not be as good. What's wrong, buddy?
Mom kicked me in the face.
He kicked you in the face. Can you go tell him to come here? Okay, gotta find the list.
Mommy, I didn't want an accident.
You did. You need to confess something to Mommy. Can you just tell me what you did?
Mom, I always said sorry to him.
You did. Eddie, is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, then how come you came and tattled?
Ooh, that's delicious too, Mom.
Yeah, Eddie, don't tattle. If it was an accident, then don't tattle. Okay? No, we gotta go play. Mommy doesn't need your help this time. Come on, yeah.
Can I watch on the couch?
Sure. I hope that you guys will go and try this syrup. It looks like a little bit complicated, but once you make it, it's really not. And it is so good. I can't believe that it's a sugar-free syrup. It's thick and just super tasty, like a regular maple syrup. It gets a little bit of air in it when you use your blender, but I don't want to stand there and whisk forever. So I just went ahead and used my blender. No need to wash my blender because I'm going to make some oatmeal cottage cheese pancakes in it. And that's fine if the sweet syrup is still in there. I don't mind. Use up the last of the oatmeal, and the recipe for these pancakes is in the original Trim Healthy Mama Plan book. I'll see if I can find the recipe to link below. If not, I'll link the book because it's actually, I don't think that book's for sale anymore. I'll try to find the recipe for you. I'm using the lines on the side of my blender to measure. You got to improvise when you don't have measuring cups, even though since I did all this that day, I've bought measuring cups. Last time I went to the store, I recognized the need. Some vanilla, no need to measure that. And a little bit of sweetener, 2 tablespoons. That's why I use the palm of my hand. I'm pretty sure that was accurate. Just blend it up, and I set it to the side to take out to the griddle in a few minutes and throw on there. And after I get all this mixed up, then I'm going to start on the children's pancakes, and I make theirs out of a recipe book called Healthy Choices. I got it at a little Mennonite store near my house, and I love this recipe book. It has some great recipes in it. They're not Trim Healthy Mama, but it has a lot of like crossover recipes that are great for my kids. They use whole wheat flour, healthy sweeteners, stuff like that. I love it. I love it so much. I use this all the time, mostly for breakfast stuff. I've actually never used any of the dinners or anything like that, but I've used a lot of the bread recipes and breakfast things. And a few of their desserts. I'm making the kids' pancakes out of sprouted flour. And here comes my helpers. They're helping me refill the oatmeal. I'm surprised I got this far dumping the oatmeal in because the boys, they love to help. They always just want to help. They want to be in there with me. Who knows? Maybe they'll be a chef one day. If not, they'll be excellent at cooking. Here they come. Ever since Eddie's learned to climb up on the counter, it's a lost cause. I just gave up on trying to keep him down because he loves to be up there with me, and I just try to enjoy time with him. I learned at some point in my life that in pancake recipes you can use half milk and half water and it still turns out pretty good. So that's what I do here because I didn't want to run out of milk. So I just use 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of water. And that is all that I got done this day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's a few pictures of things that I made this week. I hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe and let me know what you thought.